Pirate Nation on X. Adult games are just the beginning. GTA and Saints Row are reportedly at risk for being delisted by payment processors. This is a story that I think all of us could have guessed would be coming next. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is no way that Grand Theft Auto 6 gets delisted. They put reportedly upwards of $2 billion into making that game. Money talks. There ain't no way that game's getting blocked. But let's entertain this anyways and see what it says. The Gamer. Adult games are only the beginning. Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row reportedly at risk of being delisted by payment processors. Heading over to The Gamer. Over the last few weeks, payment processors have been pressuring digital storefronts like Steam and Itch to remove adult games. However, according to Zoom platform, this controversial delisting campaign could go much further. A representative told Gaming on Linux that during conversations with payment processors, this kind of sounds like the old school mafia. Be a shame if we had to delist your game. Be a real shame if that happened. I already know where this is going. Titles like Grand Theft Auto, Duke Nukem, and Saints Row were described as potentially at risk, confirming worries that adult games aren't the only target of this campaign. We have no plans to remove any titles and will do absolutely everything in our power to prevent such delistings. We are fervent supporters of artistic freedoms and will always be. Zoom platform was also urged to take down not safe for work games with controversial themes, but explained that it has no plans to remove any titles and is instead exploring alternate payment options. Could you imagine, by the way, if Visa MasterCard did block paying for Grand Theft Auto and they like, oh, okay, we're just going to open up this other option for another company to have people buy it. People would sign up in droves for that, and Visa and MasterCard would lose infinite money. It would be insane. That would be the most boneheaded decision made by a DEI company I've ever seen in my life, which is saying something. One of which is the wallet system, which will allow users to add funds to their account and spend them on all of our products. Similarly, GOG is refusing and instead made several adult games free for 48 hours in protest, which I covered in a previous video. 10 years ago, Collective Shout campaigned against GTA 5. Oh my God. I know you're all shocked, right? Payment processors first took note of adult games on these storefronts because of Collective Shout, an Australian political group that stands against objectification of women in media. The way the gamers have organized to fight back against this, I don't think they could have ever imagined the tsunami of people that have pushed back against this. It brings a smile to my face every time I talk about it. Founded in 2009 by feminist and anti-porn activist Melinda Tankard-Reist, it has launched several campaigns against video games over the last 2 decades, but notably not cuties, which they seem to be fine with cuties on Netflix. Strange. I guess that's empowerment when it's real little girls, but when it's fake video games, there's a problem. Most notably, Grand Theft Auto 5. In 2014, it claimed that Rockstar's open world sandbox encourages players to brutally murder women for entertainment. Great. Are you not entertained, Melinda? That's amazing. Welcome to the world of video games. I bet you can brutally murder dudes too. I mean, what is the problem here? If you're going to draw a line against murder in video games, my goodness, you're going to have a field day with canceling games that are being made. Calling on the game to be banned as it would be from several retail chains in the country. So they actually were successful in Australia. Yikes. Note, the group also took issue with Detroit Become Human, petitioning to ban the game in Australia because it contained themes of child abuse and violence against women. Do they do the same thing every time there's a movie that does this stuff? No? Oh, okay. So it's just video games. So what's the difference? Oh, the movies are rated R. Oh, so the kids can't see them. Gotcha. Well, wait. What about the ESRB and the multi-ESRB around the country area that many different age gate rating companies are around in Australia, in the UK, around the entire world, age rating the games. Not so different from Hollywood in their movies. What's the difference? Again, that's why people were like, fine, I'm okay with the ESRB. I don't love it, but if it's what we have to do, I will accept it. Because at the end of the day, I still have a choice as the consumer if I want to buy the game or not. All it does is provide me with more information about what the game is involved with. Great. Okay. Cool. More information, more transparency. I'm all for it. That's awesome. No issues. As the group is the driving force behind the delisted campaign, it would certainly make sense that any game it has previously taken issue with, like GTA, would be at risk. This has been a major concern since it was discovered that Collective Shout was the one urging payment processors to take action. Players worried that LGBTQ plus games would be taken down due to their adult themes, and that titles like Duke Nukem would be targeted as they were already censored in Australia. While indie developers have little recourse against payment processors, billion-dollar corporations like Take-Two have far more resources at their disposal should their game be targeted. Regardless, this has only fueled concerns about what payment processors might take issue with beyond adult games. Damn. That's a really good point. This is the assumption of they went after GTA 5, and according to this article, they were successful in getting GTA 5 banned from Australia, or from several retail chains in the country. So it wasn't banned completely. It was just banned from several retail chains. So you had to go out of your way to find the game, but you could still get it or download it, I would imagine, in Australia. Now they want to move their goalpost to the next target, GTA 6. And yes, I think that is something that many of us could probably expect to be a reality. And I want to follow up with this. This is Haley on X, who made a banger post I wanted to highlight regarding this as well. She said, a few months ago, Melinda Tankard from Collective Shout publicly stated they would go after PayPal for allegedly enabling this stuff and violence against that by providing payment services for certain video games. Some of the games they got removed from Steam were undeniably disturbing. But here's the problem. They also targeted innocent mainstream. Well, here's the thing. Before we even get the but here, why aren't they targeting movies that are undeniably disturbing? Because movies have those, and it's fine. And by the way, I'm not encouraging that to happen. I'm just trying to point out the hypocrisy of how they always seem to focus on video games, where it doesn't make any sense at all. Because it's an interactive experience? Because somehow kids have access to them when they don't? Like what about parents and parenting? Why do I need this Melinda Tankard person to be the parent in my household? I don't need that. I got it, guys. I fucking got it. Me and my wife, we got this locked down and it's handled here. I don't need this person coming into our house and telling me what's allowed on my TV or not. Thank you. Good day. You're not invited here. But here's the problem. They also targeted innocent mainstream titles like Detroit Become Human, GTA 5, and the anime Sword Art Online, claiming these works depict child abuse and violence against women. So this is a grift. These people do not play these games. They are not affected by these games. They don't care about these games. They don't understand the impact of these games. They just have chat rooms going, and they have people emailing them, and they say, oh, you got this thing going? You got this one thing canceled? Now you guys are the guys that get this stuff canceled? Here, now get this one canceled because it allegedly has this stuff in it. Do you play these games, Melinda? Do you play? And I know Melinda, she has me blocked. I know she's watching these. Collective Shout has already threatened to sue me for covering them. Melinda, since I know you watch my videos, do you play these games? Are you personally affected by them? No? Okay, cool. Get the fuck out. They want to ban anything they personally don't like. That's the problem. That's dangerous. They've appointed themselves the moral gatekeepers of fiction, trying to dictate what stories, games, and art are acceptable. And I keep referencing movies, but I think the other thing too that seems to always get a pass is books. Books are perfectly fine. No one seems to have an issue with books. But my goodness, when it comes to video games, they want to cancel everything. It's wild. This kind of influence will be weaponized against creative media by groups who believe their personal values should override artistic freedom. And this is exactly why the people who say just focus on payment processors are wrong. Groups like Collective Shout are the ideological cover that payment processors use to justify censorship. It's a good point. Because if payment processors didn't want to justify censorship, they'd go tell them to pound sand. As long as these groups exist to exert influence, they help payment processors get away with what they do. You should always hold both accountable, the enablers and the enforcers. And there's a quick video clip here, which I watched the beginning of it, and I was like, oh, I'll save this for the stream. Because my goodness, that's Melinda on the far right. In my humble opinion, she looks like an ugly old hag that is very depressed because men would rather look at pornography instead of her, and she wants to take that out on the rest of the world. And as far as I understand, I'm still allowed to have opinions on people, right?
And guess who processes the payments and is profiting from this? PayPal. PayPal. Why?
Oi, PayPal's they're profiting. They're profiting off this. Melinda, how come they don't have issues with books and movies? Why do you only care about the video games, Melinda? What's the problem here?
Why are you allowed?
Look at the books in the back behind her. Girls and Sex. Apparently that's an okay book to have. That's disgusting. Just the title is disgusting to me. I mean, using her logic, that book should be banned. That's disgusting. It's abhorrent. It's gross.
And profiting from facilitating transactions for games that promote violence against women, children, infants. I'd really like to put that question to PayPal today.
Absolutely.
Why are you allowing it?
PayPal.
$10 to play rape and incest simulation.
Imagine being these other girls, by the way. They're just like, wow. Oh my God. Yeah. That's horrible. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Games, child abuse games. This is the first time you're hearing it here.
Don't you think it's important to have child abuse games out there to let people know the dangers of it and learning about the realities of the world? You want to just block that from the world, pretend that none of this exists? This is like the idea of taking away people's guns or making murder illegal, that murder will stop. Like, no, it's actually just going to make the criminals more hardened because no one's going to be able to stop them. This argument always falls flat.
Going to go after PayPal for allowing transactions and profiting from the simulated rape and abuse of women and children.
Well, we support you. What action can we uplift through our networks? Are you doing petition, a letter? What can we activate?
Literally, this is just being discussed as we speak. So what we're looking at, probably not another petition. We don't want to give people petition fatigue. We've just had two massive ones in a row. We are going to go direct to PayPal. And I think we'll set up like an email system. We will go after them on our social media platforms. So feel free to share, to retweet, to send your own emails. You know, you carry a lot of authority there at NCOZ. You carry a lot of weight, and your weight there, particularly in the US, would really help. So we're currently putting together the names of PayPal executives, and we're going to get their names out on every platform, on all of our platforms, and their faces, and tell people what PayPal is enabling and facilitating child sexual abuse. You know, one of the most egregious crimes, you know, imaginable. Why would a legitimate?
It's just buzzword after buzzword.
You know, financial.
It's a good point. Isn't this doxing people?
And tell people what PayPal is enabling and facilitating child sexual abuse. You know, one of the most egregious crimes, you know, imaginable. Why would a legitimate, you know, financial services processing corporate like PayPal want to be part of that?
Exactly. And I don't think they will. I don't think they will. And I think this is so important. And I'm really happy you're doing this.
Oh my God. You're on the wrong side of the war. So I took a screenshot of Melinda's bookshelf behind her and I brought it over to ChatGPT. Hey, bro. I said, analyze the bookshelf in detail, what you can see, and a very brief summary of each book. And it says, from the visible section of the bookshelf in your image, here's what I can identify. Left side, pink, red spines. Girls is sex. Likely a feminist or sociological book discussing gender, sexuality, or cultural perceptions of women. Unclear titles, multiple pink spines. These are mostly indistinguishable due to resolution, but appear to be grouped by color. This aesthetic organization is common in visual setups, but makes specific identification difficult. Middle, black, white, tan spines. Outlaw Culture by Bell Hooks, a collection of critical essays on race, gender, media, and representation by renowned feminist author Bell Hooks. The Female Eunuch by Germaine Greer, a feminist classic. Well, there's not much fucking diversity with this person. Sure as shit sounds like this person just has one objective in mind behind her. A feminist classic arguing that traditional family structures repress women's sexuality. Holy shit, what? All right, she's disqualified. Anyone that has this book in their background, you're automatically disqualified. Holy shit. That your opinion is invalidated. You no longer are listened to. Sorry. I mean, we already weren't listening to you, but holy shit. Unclear titles. Several books with indistinct spines, possibly academic or feminist literature based on the theme. I still can't get over this one. I got to read it one more time. A feminist classic arguing that traditional family structures repress women's sexuality. What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. Right side. Stiff by Mary Roach, a humorous yet informative nonfiction book about the scientific use of human cadavers. What the fuck? Unclear titles, a few books with white or light colored spines that are hard to identify. Oh my God. I was expecting stupid books, but a book that is fighting against the nuclear family structure was not on my bingo card. Probably should have been with a feminist, but still, like, holy shit. Talk about saying the quiet part out loud right behind you. It's right there for everyone to see. She's telling everyone what her intentions are with those books behind her. The bookshelf appears to contain a collection of feminist, sociological, and scientific nonfiction books. The visible titles suggest the owner has an interest in gender studies, which is not a thing, media critique, and science writing. The arrangement by spine color, especially pink, hints at a curated aesthetic presentation, possibly for video or Zoom backdrops. Would you like me to enhance? Oh, you can. Can you enhance and see if there's anything new to find? I didn't know it'd be able to enhance. While it's doing that, I said, what would be your overall opinion of a woman who has these books behind her? Based strictly on the visible selection of books behind her, particularly titles like Outlaw Culture by Bell Hooks, The Female Eunuch by Germaine Greer, and Stiff by Mary Roach, here's a reasonable impression. This woman likely identifies as intellectually engaged, particularly with topics related to feminism, gender theory, cultural critique, and science. She appears to value critical thought, social issues, and perhaps progressive or academic perspectives. The deliberate collar arrangement, especially pink tones, suggests she also has a strong sense of aesthetic presentation, likely curating her background intentionally, possibly for media appearances, teaching, or online content creation. Potential assumptions: she probably leans left politically. I'd say that's the understatement of the century, with a focus on women's rights and cultural criticism. She may be involved in academia, journalism, or, what's that last one? Activism. The inclusion of Stiff shows she might also enjoy quirky, fact-based science writing, suggesting some intellectual breadth beyond just socio-political theory. The curated backdrop implies a level of self-awareness about public perception and communication. Of course, it's all speculative. Bookshelves don't tell the whole story. I said, can you enhance? I've enhanced and examined. Here's what I could clarify from and newly identify. Girls is Sex? Still uncertain, but may actually be Girls and Sex by Peggy Orenstein, which explores the sexual lives of teenage girls in America and the broader cultural impact on them. Holy shit. Imagine reading that book and then what her brain is telling her to fire online with after being injected with that ideology. Yikes. Other titles, largely unreadable, but thematically consistent with gender studies and feminist literature. Likely aesthetic groupings of similar. Here's the thing. I strongly believe that feminists should be allowed on this planet. I think it should be an automatic ignore from companies if someone is identified as a feminist. You're allowed to be it, but your perspective is automatically by default ignored because you are already fucking crazy. You completely fly in the face of a nuclear family. You fly in the face of society progressing. You are trying to withhold the direction of society and push it in your ideological direction with your activism. Sorry, there's not even a start line for you. The conversation's over before it begins. We have a new one here, Misogyny by Jack Holland, possibly identified. A sweeping history of misogyny across cultures and eras. Wife Work by Susan Mushart, possibly present, examines how marriage and domestic life often disproportionately burden women, even in modern society. Oh my God. Won't anyone think of the women? Won't anyone think of the women, guys? A spine that looks like it may say Stepford, potentially referencing the Stepford Wives by Ear 11, which critiques gender roles through a sci-fi lens. Redefined interpretation. With additional clarity, the bookshelf more firmly signals feminist scholarship and critique, cultural commentary on gender roles in media, interest in women's lived experiences, sexual politics, and historical misogyny, a possible mix of academic and popular non-fiction. This reinforces the impression that the woman is educated, likely progressive or left-leaning, and interested in challenging societal norms, particularly those related to patriarchy, gender dynamics, and cultural representation. Like, yep, we're going to go into depth and analyze this to find out deep down what you're thinking and why you think the way you do. Because in my humble opinion, you are one broken bitch. One more thing. How many cats would you estimate this type of person potentially owning? Ha, going for a stereotype? All right, I'll play along. Estimated cat ownership, 1 to 3. 1 cat if she's more career focused, 2 if she works from home, 3 if she's fully embraced the cat. I'm going to go with 2. I'm going to go with 2. She works from home and leans into the cozy intellectual life. She's got 2 cats. I think that's fair. Of course, actual number of cats is unknowable, but based on bookshelf energy, let's lock in 2 cats. Yep, she's got 2 cats. I am quite confident. I'm willing to bet money that she has 2 cats, just based off of this. Oh man, Alucard says, "Smash! I have 6 cats, and I'm not crazy." I'm not trying to say if you have a cat, you're crazy. I'm just saying there's a direct correlation to crazy people with cats. Not everyone having cats is crazy, but everyone who is crazy has cats. Okay, just to be fair, it's like the Venn diagram where there's a crazy in the middle where it connects. Monkey booming. I got 1 cat, and I'm crazy. Please stop. The crazy cat ladies don't want her. I love cats too, but I'm allergic to them, so I can't have cats. Alucard says, "Smash, repress women's sexuality? Isn't collective shout against prostitution? More hypocrisy. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Makes you think." Man. Anyways,